Let's do some agriculture now. And the Ghana Agriculture Sector Investment Program is an initiative by the government of Ghana, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and other development partners. While the program is to make available resources in at least 180 districts for value chain development of cassava, maize, and sorghum, vegetables, yam, amongst others. It is also aimed at providing a framework and institutional basis for a long-term engagement and financing for the scaling up of investment into the private sector-led pro-poor agricultural value chain development. Joining me in the studio right now is Roy Ayariga, his project coordinator of the Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program. He was formerly with the national program. He was formerly the national program coordinator of the Northern Rural Growth Program, which covers the 3 northern regions and the Bonahafo.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
For having me.
Right. So, what is this whole program about?
Yes, the Ghana Agri Sector Investment Program, as you earlier said, is a government of Ghana program implemented by the Minister of Food and Agriculture, simply put, to promote agribusinesses across the value chain of every commodity. And I think that this is one of MOFA's main projects to ensure that value chain development and agribusinesses thrive in Ghana. Why do I say this? GASIP has taken lessons from previous projects where I was project coordinator for Northern Rural Growth Program. We found solutions to agri-finance. We found solutions, farmers complain of lack of credit, but we were able to ensure that banks, we work with 22 rural banks and some commercial banks, using their own money, and they on lend to farmers, and farmers paid back 100%. This is a breakthrough that we want to upscale. We also provided feeder roads, for example, under the SAVE program, and we've seen that value chain infrastructure is very, very necessary to promote agribusiness, because there are some areas that are not accessible at all. Good farmlands, hard-working farmers, yet they are cut off. I'll give you an example. One of the roads that we constructed, women started and their men started cutting trees for charcoal, just because the road was bad. Nothing, only charcoal trucks could go there. But when we fixed the road, the women went back to their shea butter business, which was more, profitable and environmentally friendly. Now, GASIP is about leveraging resources, and we want to make agribusiness, very attractive, especially for rural youth.
Is there a reason why you've decided to focus on, certain crops such as cassava, yam, and what have you, sorghum? Is there a reason why?
Yes, the reason for these initial crops is that they represent the core value chains being promoted by ongoing projects, and they are proven to reduce poverty among the rural poor. They are proven to provide profitable business along the chain. Those who process, for example, cassava into starch, gari, and so forth. We've seen that there are lessons, good lessons to upscale this. So you can have projects in one locality doing good things. Nobody knows. It's not upscaled. GASIP is about upscaling these good practices. We've also learned lessons, some bitter lessons that we should not go down that road again. And so GASIP was designed, to upscale good practices, ensure that farmers, especially small producers, are linked, because if there's no pull by the market, and we take a holistic approach when we are dealing with value chains. I'll give you an example. If you are doing soybean, for example, now it comes in 2 products, the cake and the oil. So soybean production will start from the research to come with varieties that have high oil content and varieties with high protein content for those who want the cake, right? Now, if you look at soybean production in Ghana, productivity is low. And I'm giving this soybean example. It covers other crops. Productivity is very low. Why? The machinery. You can be profitable if you don't have planters to get the correct plant population, right? Most of the varieties shatter, so after harvesting you lose a lot. You can compete with other other countries that have all this. So yes, we in GASIP, normally we do a value chain analysis of each of the commodities. Look at the constraining factors. How can we liberate that? So I'm talking about access to finance.
I was just going to go there because I imagine this is very capital intensive.
Yes.
So who's raising the funds to support these farmers?
The project has what we call matching grants. We don't have money to give to banks to on-lend in the typical projects in the past. The projects come and they have 3 million for some banks to on-lend. The banks, we studied with, we did some research with the banks. They said they have money, but when they give, they don't get it back. So we devised a value chain financing model called the cashless credit model, where the farmers are not given the cash as before, total cash. They approve 20,000 for you and you take it off, you can do what you want and come back and repay. No, we have a value chain financing model whereby the farmer has its value chain requirements. One, there's a backward linkage to inputs, land preparation, finance, technology, and advice. So we provide this.
So how are you able to assess the impact of this project?
Well, studies have been done. For example, there at the midterm review of NRGP, we found out that the impact has been great because maize yields have increased, all the commodities, and the important thing is not just yield increase. Important thing is reliable markets because we link the resource poor farmers to the markets. We work with those who do processing, those who are aggregators and supply, to end users. And we think that the market is the driving force. If you produce what the market doesn't want, you will sit there with your produce, you will not make it. So we, GASIP, we are looking at infrastructure, value chain infrastructure, warehouses, so that farmers can store their produce, ensure quality standards by themselves, and they get a good market. We have roads program opening up. And our road program are selected in such a way that go 3 years back, the impact of the road is great in terms of the amount of business transactions that are taking place. We do irrigation schemes, for high value fruits and vegetables. And
so there's a lot of education when it comes to, all these things.
Everything. And we have another thing. We, like I said earlier, is a Ghana government, and the initial funding comes from International Fund for Agric Development, IFAD. Some other development partners are coming in. And with this money, we want to be able to ensure that the constraining factors that doesn't allow smooth business flow from the producer to the consumer are solved.
So it's going to be launched?
The importance, let me tell you the importance of this nationwide program. His Excellency President Mahama himself
will be at the launch.
Will launch the program.
When is this?
Tomorrow, Friday, 28th August.
Right. Where's taking place?
It is taking place at the Surgeons College of Physicians and Surgeons Conference Hall.
All right.
And after that, we'll hit the ground running. We want to make agribusiness very attractive.
And the farmers are upbeat about this.
The farmers know about the results we got from NRGP. Farmers know about what we got from root and tuber. Farmers know about some of the MOFA project that gave the GASIP now galvanizes all these successes, and now we'll blow it up nationwide.
All right, thank you very much, Roy Ayariga, who is a national programs coordinator of the Ghana Agric Sector Investment Program of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Thank you very much for your time, sir. I appreciate that.